So you're trying to tell me you have somebody who squats 1,400 days in a row and he has weak hip flexors. I frankly find that very, very hard to believe. Very, very hard to believe. I can't process that mentally. Something feels off about that. But there's no denying that when I do the hip flexor exercise, I feel freaking better. The pain disappears. This has happened several times with me now. I've had several goes at hip flexor training, and each time positive. And then I start again going to Google and looking at the muscles which we call hip flexors, the muscles which we call the glutes, everything around the pelvis. Looking at the quads, looking at all the complexity, all the crossover of freaking muscles and all that. I'm trying to think to myself, you're going ATG squat 1 billion days in a row and you develop a weakness at the hip flexors, which are responsible for keeping your back straight at the bottom of a squat, which are responsible for producing a lot of power in combination with the glutes to deadlift 265 kilos. I have weak hip flexors. Something doesn't freaking sit well with me when it comes to that hypothesis. But I'm not gonna steer away from this idea that I am being very, very comfortable, very, very healed up when I do hip flexor training. So in this craziness of trying to work out what the hell is going on, I thought to myself, what is one thing that I 100% believe is weak in this region? And you know what the first thing that I thought of was? Glute medius, the side stuff. Glute minimus, glute medius. Preceding this crazy period of thinking about hip flexors and all that stuff, maybe some month, probably not 2 or 3 months ago, I went on a campaign to do a lot of side stuff, adductor stuff, side glute stuff. Around that period, funnily enough, I hit 165 kilo, 185 kilo front squat. I felt good again. So when I do this with my hips, this is me standing. When I do this with my hips, I feel good, hip flexor. And when I do this with my hips, I feel good. So what is going on, man? What is going on? My missus is like, you got the kids, I have to go to the shops, take care of them. What, do you need anything from the shops? And I said, yeah, I do. Can you give me some gains? I went on online and I started searching around. I was gonna order online, but then I saw what seemed to be okay and I bought these. I don't even know what brand it is. It's essentially a hip circle. One of you guys mentioned this recently on a video. I said I was gonna get it. Never got around to it. Today, my missus went to the shops and she found this pretty good quality, I must say. It's no brand, I don't know what it is. It's Kmart, man. For those of you in America, you probably don't know what Kmart is. It's probably like, I don't know, what's equivalent to Kmart? It's not Costco, I don't know. Have you been to America before?
Never.
Never been to America?
No.
I don't know. It's basically a shop where you buy everything other than groceries, kind of thing. Anyway, found this, got home, started walking around the house with it. There's a bunch of different ones. It's a pack of 3. I think it's all the same tension. That's the strong one. This is the strong one. Hold that. This is the medium one. And what you notice is that they're all kind of like different length. So I think it's not so much, actually I'm probably wrong about that, because the really, really strong one is the really long one. I was gonna say the shortest one is gonna be the strongest one, but anyway, maybe there's more stitching in the long one, I don't know. But I've gone for the medium one, not for the medium, for the strong one, the medium out of the 3. I started squatting in the house, and I'll tell you something, man. The moment I put this thing on, and the moment I started squatting inside the house, just no weight, nothing at all, I don't know, felt good, felt really good. I felt my hip flexors fire up immediately, and I felt the glute medius and all that side stuff fire up. I felt my adductors let go, maybe because they were neuromuscularly being inhibited because I'm using all the other stuff on the other side of it. Good job. So all of that spilt over to me taking this stuff into the squat session. And so what I did was I put the middle one on, the strong one, so the 17 kilo one, and I didn't take it off for the whole session. I just kept going up and up and up, and I started feeling really good and good and good. So much so is that I started feeling, I don't know what it is, man. It's not hip flex. I feel like it's a TFL type of thing. Obviously glute medius, I'm feeling that, but I'm feeling like exactly where the hip pain is. Started feeling it in. I'm like, damn, this feels like I'm squatting and doing hip flex exercise in the same damn time. I thought, shit, this is pretty good, man. I don't have to do 2 exercises to feel good. One for the actual thing that I want to go good at, and then one to repay the deficit, the debt that I've created, right? That's what the terminology I used before. So if I use this, it's okay if your arms get tired. So I thought, wow, keep going. I got to 190 kilos for one, got down to 160. I did a set of 8 with that, and that is saying something. I felt comfortable. You know, I've for the longest time, man, I've been saying this to you guys. I feel strong. You know, I feel strong a lot of the days. I just don't have the confidence in my hip to push through. You know, some days I come in here and I feel so comfortable that I feel like I can just push with all my might into the bar. That's what a squat session should be like. Not, oh, okay, I don't want to hit the rev limiter because when that hits, boom, pain shoots through my skull and I'm like, damn. You don't want to be in a pain crisis while you're working out. So, felt really good. 8 reps with 160, went down to 140, did another set of 10. And that's basically, I'm wrecked. I'm feeling my side glutes. It's feeling good. So I'll show you here. I'll probably show it throughout the video, but I don't know if you guys can see as I'm saying this. Right at that sticking point, I could be making this stuff up. Not making this stuff up, but I could be wrong with this stuff. But essentially, in that sticking point in the squat, it is very subtle, but there is some sort of knee valgus that goes in. So knees kind of buckle in ever so slightly, and that worsens the leverages because when that happens, your butt shoots back, you lean over, and you essentially are pushing with your quads to no avail because you keep going forward. So it's a stripper squat. It's a good morning squat. But if you have the ability not to have knee valgus at that 90-degree or parallel portion of the squat, if you can have the strength to push out, hold on, to push the knees out rather than let them cave in, you become, you end up being in a more advantageous mechanical position. Purely mechanically speaking, you become more better positioned. And so then the weight pseudo becomes more comfortable or easier. It's almost like there's less weight on the bar because you're using more leverage for it. That's kind of what I feel like. And if you are able to overcome those forces and have the knees go out, in my experience, whatever is causing that hip pain, I feel like I'm moving away from that. Okay? So knee valgus is bad. Knee valgus is bad. And the opposite of knee valgus, I don't know what the freaking term is, just knee abduction or something, I don't know. Feels really, really good. Now, like I've said to you guys before, it is kind of hard to kind of like overload, if you will, the hip abductors. You can do freaking clamshells, fire hydrants, all the other crap that I experimented a few months ago. It all kind of feels like you're beating around the bush, but when you have a squat, so 100% specificity, and then you put this band on, you feel like you're going through the whole range of motion of the squat while you're pushing the knees out. It's like you're not only training the hip abduction at a certain knee angle, you're not just pushing it there, you're pushing it all throughout, so if this is the knee, you're pushing it throughout the length of the range of motion. The whole time you're just pushing out. And it's like you're targeting the entire length of the range of motion, the hip abductors, all the fibers which are required to hip abducting the ATG at 90 degree, right at the top. You're hip abducting the entire time. Because if you don't, you're gonna be in a real bad position because you're freaking, this band is collapsing you in. So, amazing feeling, man. Amazing freaking feeling. Now, if you get one of these bands and just walk around, you will feel some sort of way in the hip flexors. I've noticed that. This morning, I've basically walked a lot around with one of these bands. And you feel the hip flexors turn on. So, I've kind of pre-exhausted my hip flexors, which is probably the reason why I freaking feel good in the thing anyway, to start off with. And then when you go into the squat, hip flexors are on board, the glute medius is on board, everything's pushing out, and you're upright, and then you can use the right leverage for the squat. It's freaking amazing. So, in a kind of roundabout way, I think I found something which is like 100% specific to target the hip flexors. So you walk around the gym with the freaking band on. You put the weights on the bar. You squat with the band on. The entire time your hips are on. Hip flexors are on. Glute medius is on, and it feels freaking nice. I've just pushed hard on the squat, very, very hard, and I feel really good. That is special. That is so freaking special. If you've never tried it, might be worth a try. All of these bands at Kmart were $14 freaking dollars. $14. And they're pretty good. I don't know how much they're gonna last, but they look tough to me. So, quite happy. So I'll try and use them every squat session now. I don't know how the hip, I'm probably gonna be sore tomorrow, so I might have to reassess that, but I'm feeling great right now. Appreciate you guys like always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.